Hello, everyone. I thought I would give you a puppy update because I've been making videos about picking a puppy. And of course, I told you about how the last one I picked out unfortunately didn't make it. Well, I picked out another puppy who hopefully he does well. I think there's a good chance, especially since the breeder is now advertising, for the general public that she has puppies available. Of course, I'm picking out a basset hound, and she wouldn't do that unless the puppies were healthy. And whereas before, I picked one before the general public really saw it, and so I hope he does well. I've been looking for um, a black and brown basset hound, one that's face is really dark, and there were three puppies in a litter born who looked like that. So I had three different options, and I have a lot of difficulty making decisions. If there was only one like that born in the litter, then decision problem solved. I'll just pick that one. But there were three like that, and they looked basically the same, but there's subtle differences. And so I had to pick one of them, and so I basically sat for hours trying to decide. There was puppy number one, puppy number six, and puppy number seven. There were 10 in the litter altogether. That's the way they were numbered. And I narrowed it down to puppy number one and puppy number six. And I almost went with number one. In fact, my dad, had the text to send to the breeder already, and then I stopped him at the last moment. And of course, I'm probably going to feel like I made the wrong decision no matter what decision that I ultimately make. But the decision that I made is that puppy number one had a lot of probably had the right look in terms of it had a lot of black and brown. It had very little white on its chest, whereas puppy number six had basically the same face, but it had more white on its chest, and I wanted one that has as little white as possible. And puppy number one, had almost the right look. But I ultimately decided to go with puppy number six, mainly because puppy number six, even though he has a little more white on his chest than what I would like, was the biggest of the three and the healthiest. And I wanted to go with a puppy ultimately um, that I think would have the best chance at survival. And I made it like when I got my other basset who passed away a few years ago, Barney. He was the runt of the litter, and he had, of course, he died prematurely at only 5 years old. And I thought, I don't know if I want to pick the runt of the litter again. Of course, I don't know if that was a factor in him not being healthy later on. And so I want to go with a puppy who seems the strongest and healthiest, and still has the general overall look that I want, even though he's not 100% perfect. So that's the puppy that I went with. I still haven't figured out a name, however. I'm thinking about naming him Reuben, possibly. Walter and Bowie are other names I've been throwing around. And I will probably pick him up, if he does well, sometime between February 23rd and March 1st. I'm very looking forward to that. In the meantime, I'm going to try to get my rough draft into shape for beta readers, hopefully, so I won't be having to deal with that while taking care of him in his first few weeks.